Hey, get the pay. The walls are closing in on Mr. Saul Canelo Alvarez, famed trainer that worked with Mike Tyson. Hi, me, Mike Tyson. I want to talk. I'm hungry. I'm ecstatic. I'm a lady. I want to. Teddy Atlas breaks down Canelo versus Golovkin 3, and he says that Canelo was not greatly impressive, and if he was a great fighter, he probably would have stopped Gennady Golovkin. That's what I'm going to talk about in this video. Stay tuned. What up, Fight World? It's your boy Ego, and I am back with some more boxing. Teddy Atlas verified page. This is what he had to say. You guys see the caption on the screen. It says, taking nothing away from Canelo, he's a solid fighter. But if he was the great fighter some want him to be, he probably stops an old fighter. Like many of these big fights in boxing, this one also happened a few years too late. Gennady Triple G Golovkin was able to take back roads enough to get to the finish line. Canelo won, but was not greatly impressive. Triple G keeps his dignity of a champion, but it's time to retire, I believe. Looking forward to the discussion on the podcast today, which will be airing tomorrow. So, Teddy Atlas, he spoke a whole lot of truth in what happened. And I told you guys this was the downfall of the Canelo era, because you have pugilists, famed trainers, former fighters, current fighters, and they're all basically saying the same thing that Boxing Ego, the great Ego Stradamus, told you before the fight even happened, and certainly after it happened, after watching that travesty of a fight. I'm saying the same thing afterwards, in that the fight wasn't good. It left so much to be desired. And that's bad if you're considered number one pound for pound. That's bad if you're considered the face of boxing, because people are looking at you to raise the stakes. People are looking at you to hold the torch. And in my opinion, Canelo is not doing a good job of that with his recent performance. I mean, he fought Bivol, lost bad. Like, a loss is a loss. But not all losses are created equal. At the end of the day, some losses, just like Sean Porter and many of his losses, like Keith Thurman, or, you know, fights like that, or Ugas losing to Sean Porter. These are tales of great competitive fights where it could have went either way type of deal. So the loser doesn't really lose stock. But Canelo in victory lost more stock than Ugas lost when he actually took a loss to Sean Porter, because of the perception and people who watched the fight from start to finish. So I agree with everything Teddy Atlas said. You know, this fight was past its expiration date. Triple G got to the finish line. But if Canelo was the great fighter that people are saying he is, and number one pound for pound, he probably would have stopped. He probably would have stopped a guy like Triple G, especially with the effort that Triple G made. It was very little offense for the first maybe 7-8 rounds from Gennady Golovkin. And it don't matter how good your chin is, if you're not keeping someone off you, and somebody's known for being pound for pound number one and having a punch and things like that, you're going to crumble just taking shots and stuff. And Canelo was punching with all his might, trying to make a statement, and he didn't live up to what he said. He said he was going to end this trilogy explosively, and that would have been better for his stock if he were able to have accomplished that, because then he could say, oh, nobody stopped Golovkin and I was the first to do it. So he would have ended the trilogy in fashion. But unfortunately for Canelo, he strung it out, and then it got to the second half of the fight and it didn't even look like the same fighter as the first early rounds, whatever's up with his conditioning. So he can make all the excuses saying his hand was bad and this, that, and the third, but it left so much to be desired. And now you have Roberto Duran telling Triple G to retire. You got guys like myself who have called this stuff and said Triple G was regressing and not the same fight. You have Teddy Atlas who's saying Triple G should retire. You have Marcos Maidana, who's a celebrated fighter, and he's saying the fight was boring. And that's sad for the face of boxing, because at the end of the day, you're supposed to be putting on events that people are talking about the next day. And the only talk. And what I mean by talking is I'm talking impressively talking about how big it was, you know, like just imagine the halftime show. You know, that's a big moment for ratings and things like that, the Super Bowl halftime show. So you want people to talk about how great Michael Jackson did or Whitney Houston did or Prince did at the Super Bowl, right? Like, oh, they killed it. Beyonce killed it. You don't want people talking about the halftime show and every comment is negative. And that's what it is with Canelo Triple G. This was a fight that didn't need to happen. I predicted this. I'm the greatest when it comes to boxing in the digital era, in the digital space. This was easy for me to forecast. People said I was hating, but now what do you have to say for yourself? Canelo took a faded fighter who had been regressing and showing signs of decay, and he fought him, and it actually backfired because it hurt his stock more based on the little effort that we've seen for Triple G that was completely different from the first two fights, and then how the fight played out, and then the fight that you carried him and he went to the decision, and they even had the decision close. So it's just, that didn't help you. If I told you, if Canelo did not destroy Golovkin, then it was gonna probably look bad, and this was worse than most people could expect of. Now people are telling Triple G to retire, so it shows you Canelo could have done what was noble if he was really pound for pound #1 and fought Bivol in a rematch instead of fighting a guy who damn near looked crippled in there, and everyone's calling for him to retire and saying he's not the same and didn't enjoy the event. Let me know how I did. SLC, subscribe, like, and comment. I'm the best in the business, and I'm out. Introducing Super Thanks. Right here on the official Boxing Ego YouTube. Super Thanks allows you, the viewers, to show a little bit of extra gratitude, which enables me as a full-time content creator to push out the content you need in the world of boxing. Underneath all the videos, you will see a heart with the $sign in it. You can enter any amount that you find suitable as a super thanks. A brand new interactive and colorful way to get your comments highlighted and noticed by not only myself, but other people on the YouTube platform. Super thanks, a unique and cool way to show and applaud us full-time content creators. Hopefully you guys enjoy the content. Super thanks. The future is now. The Hibernation 5s by Kenichi Bear. Hybrid gaming and lifestyle headphones. Out of the box, you can connect to any console or PC. Bluetooth ready with a low latency USB adapter, color RGB, and extreme bass mode. The Hibernation 5s adjust to you. Whether you need a gaming, travel, gym, or lifestyle headphones, the Hibernations got you covered. The new Hibernation 5s, link in the description. Customize the way you hear the world. Welcome to the nation. Are you tired of your YouTube videos not getting any views? Well, consider TubeBuddy. I've used TubeBuddy for years to scale up my YouTube channel. Now we're sitting over 200,000 subscribers. TubeBuddy is a browser extension that offers a ton of built-in productivity and time-saving services to take your channel to the next level. Use my link in the description to get started with TubeBuddy and level up your channel faster. We working.